Hi everybody, I'm Nick Hewerts. I'm running for U.S. House Seat District 2 because I feel that our country is at a tipping point. The earth as we know it is dying, the economy works for only Wall Street and the monopolies and duopolies, and the government is not representing its people. As a small business owner who grew up on the district on a small farm, I've seen firsthand how the monopolies and duopolies have taken over our government and our economy. Our system's broken, really. We allow legal bribery so those with the most money can get what they want. We need to fix our system so that we can get the other things that we want. On issue after issue, the majority of the American public agrees on universal health care to stop people from going broke or even dying because they can't afford medical care. The Green New Deal, which outlines a path to saving life as we know it on this earth, while creating good sustainable jobs through investing in our infrastructure. But we won't get those things until we get big money out of politics, and I have a plan for that. Yes, I stole that from Warren. The first step is getting rid of Citizens United, which says that corporations can give dark money. The second step is giving the vote back to the people by working around the Electoral College with the National Popular Vote Initiative. The rest of the steps are on my website. Once we do all those things, we can get the will of the people legislated, the Green New Deal, universal health care, and all the other important things that we want and need for this country to thrive economically and with equality for everyone. We need to educate and motivate the voters to come out in record numbers, vote blue, and then fix our system and tip the country back in the right direction. Hi again. The first question is, how has the coronavirus pandemic affected your views on the state of health insurance and healthcare in the U.S., and what are your thoughts about the response by the federal government thus far? So the coronavirus pandemic has brought specific attention to our state of healthcare in the sense that we are one of the only countries that does not have universal health care. So we absolutely need universal health care in our country. My plan is very similar to the one that is in Congress right now. It gets rid of premiums, co-pays, deductibles, increases coverage to include not only health care but mental care, physical, eyesight, vision. So nobody loses anything, everybody's coverage gets better at a lower cost. Estimates say that we save about $3.2 trillion over the next 10 years if we enact a universal health care plan versus our current system right now. Cost is less, benefits are greater. My plan, the only difference from the one in Congress is I fund it by, I don't tax anybody who's making under $200,000 a year. Any individual that's making under $200,000 a year will not have a tax increase, so they'll get a savings. They won't have to pay anything additional to get the health care coverage. And I would raise the taxes on the 200,000 plus individuals to 1940s tax levels. So they were pretty aggressive on the higher incomes. And that's how I would choose to fund it, seeing as the money has gone towards all the top in the recent years. As far as the response to the coronavirus pandemic from our national leaders, specifically the Trump administration, it looks like Trump prioritized the economy of Wall Street over the average person and the health of our nation, the physical health of our nation. So severely lacking. We should have enacted social distancing way earlier and been ahead of the curve. We could have. We had the information, but we didn't do it. They also are dragging their feet, the Republicans and the Trump administration, on giving any proper funding to help the average person get through financially the pandemic. What Pelosi proposed was $1,500 a month to every individual, including children in the family, under a certain income, and we should have implemented that. That would have been much better than the one-time $1,200 payment, and the Democrats did negotiate some extra coverage in unemployment, which was great, but it's too much red tape. We should have just done an instant payment. People should have had the money by now. It should have been higher than what the Trump administration ended up doing, and it should have been monthly and not a one-time payment. The second question is, one of the reasons Republicans have been able to maintain power in spite of the fact that they represent a shrinking portion of the population has been their voter suppression efforts. If elected, how important will this issue be for you, and what will you do about it? Good question. First of all, national standards are needed. National standards for voting rights. Right now, we don't have enough national standards, and the ones that we do have are not being enforced. As a matter of fact, they're specifically not being enforced intentionally by Republicans and the current administration. So I would have national standards: vote by mail, make it national; auto register, make it national. It should be easy to vote. It's a right to vote, and it should be easy. We furthermore need to outlaw gerrymandering, eliminate the Electoral College, or at least work around it, and get money out of politics, get big money out of politics. Question number 3. How will you work with any proposals that are brought forward for public land protection, such as wilderness designations? For example, the current proposal for the Owyhee Canyonlands Wilderness Protection here in Congressional District 2. I would definitely vote to protect Owyhee Canyonlands and other like areas. I think that one of the biggest things that's going under the radar in the Trump administration is that he's actually eliminating a lot of our national lands and a lot of our protected national lands. And I propose something that I haven't heard before, something somewhat unique, but I propose that we make it a law that you cannot take away federal lands without a 2/3 majority vote in both houses of the Congress, and the president has to sign. It seems crazy that the president's able to go through and just get rid of all these lands that belong to all of us. Question number 4. Government services such as education have been incredibly interrupted by the coronavirus pandemic. As schools and other institutions make efforts to provide their services online, some citizens may not have equal access to those services. Would you be willing to enact legislation that would enable government services to continue online should we face such circumstances again, even if it means that not everyone would be served equitably? Yes, I would endorse legislation to continue education online in these type of circumstances. We definitely need to address the issues where some kids might not be getting the same type of options as others due to the fact that they may not have internet access or access to a computer or a tablet. So our local schools, I've been seeing, have been giving out tablets to kids who don't have them. So that's one option. We could also include in that legislation that says we continue schooling online, that we give out tablets that have cellular service built in so that kids could get service at home if they don't have access to high speed or any internet. I do have in my proposals already that we should have high speed internet for all. For anybody who doesn't have high-speed internet access, we would provide it, and that would be a boost to education, to our economy, all the way around. For anybody who doesn't have any internet access or cell phone access where they live, then printed materials should be distributed. Question number 5. The ability of society to meet a common threat depends on the degree of trust that citizens have in their government. Given that 50% of our country does not trust the president or Congress, how will you, as a representative, help restore trust in government? Well, one of my number one things is to fix the government, to fix our system. We need systemic change. So until we fix our system, people aren't going to trust the government. It's not necessarily the government officials that are the problem, it's the system. We need to get big money out of politics. If we do that, that helps people to be able to trust government, that they're working for the people and not their big money donors. We need to set term limits so people aren't just in government, entrenched, and getting elected year after year based on name recognition. We need to ban lobbying after people exit government so that we know, again, that people are working towards our best interest and not working towards a future career in lobbying. Question number 6. Greg Walden voted yes to open the outer continental shelf to oil drilling. He voted yes on banning the EPA from regulating greenhouse gases. He voted no on enforcing limits on CO2 global warming pollution. He voted no on tax credits for renewable energy. He voted no on removing subsidies for oil and gas exploration. And the list goes on. Votes like this have earned him a rating of 0% from the CAF, Campaigning for America's Future, indicating his complete resistance to energy independence. If you are elected, how will your voting record on energy matters compare to Walden's? So my voting record on the environment would basically be the opposite of Greg Walden. I would vote for cap and trade. I would take all the money that we invest currently in oil companies and invest it in sustainable energy and sustainable jobs. My platform includes a pledge to have no new pipelines and to go 100% renewable energy by 2035. Question number 7. What is the one question you were hoping we would ask, but we didn't? And what's your answer to it? One question I get a lot is, how will you win and how will you lead with a lack of experience in government? Although my experience isn't directly in government, I believe that it relates. I grew up on a small farm on the district where we had wooded lands that we harvested responsibly and where we also farmed the pastured lands. I believe that gives me great insight into the farmers in the district as well as the logging industry in the district. I believe farmers and loggers care about the earth just as much as anybody else. We just have to make sure that when we're going to the new economy with new renewable energy sources and new technology, that anybody displaced from that new economy is given first dibs at the new jobs. After growing up on a small farm, I worked in retail for years, and that gave me insight into the average working person in our district and across the nation. It gives me insight to the fact that minimum wage is not a living wage. And my working in retail led to me opening and owning my own business, which further expanded my insight on the average working person. It also gave me experience in managing people and really truly understanding the economy and how we have to invest in the economy. Every $1 spent in an infrastructure investment leads to about $2 of economic growth. This is similar to how a business works. I have also served on a nonprofit board for years as the VP. That's taught me how to work with a small group of people to solve big problems. It's taught me how to effectively navigate a board meeting, and it's also taught me how to run and organize large fundraisers. In the last few years, since I've shut down my business and devoted my life towards trying to make a difference, I have volunteered and worked on other candidates' campaigns. This has taught me the ins and outs of running for office, how to win, how to use social media effectively to win, and also how to legislate. Thank you, Wasco Democrats, for listening. If you have further questions, and I'm sure you do, please follow me on Facebook. Feel free to text, call, email, message me. My website has all my proposals listed and my complete background listed. My Facebook page has plenty of videos and commentaries on the issues of the day. Thank you, and I look forward to hearing more from you.
The road ahead, it twists and turns, and the sun beats down and it burns. But I keep on pushing through. And every step quicker than the last, my feet tread down this beaten path, and I keep on pushing through. 'Cause I get up